everybody, Sarah here. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for new faith-based teaching videos from me every single Wednesday that I pray encourage you in your walk with Christ. This week, I asked the couples to answer, how do you balance, work and ministry and life and children while still keeping the spark alive in your marriage? Like, how do you do it? Especially once you've been married for a while and once you have kids, how do you not fall into, a pit or just becoming roommates? So I pray that this encourages you and that it prepares you for the marriage that you desire to have one day.
Being a pastor, it seems like the time don't belong to you. You basically focus on others. But we find time to go out on the weekend, especially Friday night. That's our night, our date night. Find time to go out and sit and talk and fellowship with one another and just be along with one another. That's how we keep the spark going. But just dating. Even though you're married, you go out on a date. And keep that spark going.
Once we surrendered to God, we learned that our time was very much important. So even working and again balancing housework, working outside the home, children, doing the daily tasks. We just made time. Children had bedtimes. We made sure they got their baths and got in the bed, and then we would have our time. And we dated. There was weekends where we didn't really have money to travel or go out of town, so we would just have the children stay with friends so we could create an atmosphere in our home to date. So,
and I would say balance life, because that's what that list of items were. It's actually life. You got to live life, and we balance life and time for each other by making time for each other consistently but intentionally. Okay, so it doesn't happen automatically because you say I love you. You have to say I love you and then show you I love you, which life is going to interfere. Okay, but life shouldn't interfere if you balance it properly. All things, as Romans 8:28 tells you, that all things work together for the good of them that love God, who are the called according to His purpose. So they don't just work together, you have to work in all things. Okay, so we just learned that when we intentionally put the time in to love each other, to spend time with each other, that automatically keeps the spark. And if we not only have a spark, but you have a hot fire burning. Mm-hmm. So you don't even have to plan that part. You just plan to put the time in together, and the rest is His story. Amen.
We balance the different areas in our life in which they're not always easy. It's a work in progress, but we do it by being intentional, by setting aside time, by putting things on our calendars. We have our calendars actually synced to one another, so when one of us have something that comes up, we put that in our phone and the other one automatically gets it, and we do pretty good in staying on top of that, and that's how we were able to balance those things. But like I said, it is a work in progress, and it's not something that you'll always have intact, because things come in life that'll detour you from those things. And as far as how we keep the spark in our marriage, it's once again by being intentional. We set aside time for us to have at least one date night a month, and I encourage everyone to have that at least once a month. If you can do more, that's great, but definitely once a month. And that's how we do that, just being intentional with that time and being intimate with one another, and not necessarily sexually, though that has its place, but also just spending time continually getting to know one another, because we realize, being married 10 years, that we both begin to change, and we have to constantly be growing with one another and adapting to those changes with each other.
I can also add to, like, the little notes or text or call, like different messages keeps the spark, surprise. I know when the children finally go to sleep, we sit down and we talk, sometimes over hot chocolate, coffee, cookies, just having fun. So keeping the spark and having fun.